Whispers of Fernandez creep, Lansing goes that's complete. Dirty noise loud and clear, big God conquers fear. Feels like the end is near, as England sheds another tear. Time is right, lift the global trophy high. Underneath the ring of lights, feel formations unify. World united till we die. Get on! 25!
We started out this tournament here with 160 teams, and after 8 weeks of football, 4 qualifiers and 4 preliminary leagues, we are now down to our final 32. And tonight, we will find our next champion. Welcome everyone to the 21st Global Trophy, the 2025 Global Trophy Final. I'm Masterath and I am joined as always alongside
Sam Elliott 64, and yes, it is time to etch another name into the history books. We have 5 previous Global Trophy winners here today. Will we have a 6th by the end of today, or will we have a repeat champion? We don't know. It's all up for grabs. I think it's probably one of the most up for grabs titles it's been in recent years. We've not seen any particular, rampant form from anyone really, except for maybe a couple of teams. But hey, look, it's wide open. Anyone can win it. We've come a long way to this point. I can't wait to get cracking.
Well, let's just look at the stats as we usually do when it comes to these finals. As you said, 5 of our previous champions are in this final. 9 teams have made it to at least a final before, so they finished in the top 2. We've got 12 who have made it to at least the top 4, so they've made it to a previous semi-final before, when it comes to that. 21 of these teams have made it to the quarterfinals at least in a previous Global Trophy final. We've got 28 who have made it to the top 16, and we have no debutants. All of them have made it to at least one final before.
No,
it's very. They've done it again.
No, absolutely not. And we have done our. Should we start adding some teams? And we have done our research as to who the dud team would be. It was closer than we thought, and not with the teams that we thought. But in the end, as predicted last week, Namibia is our dud team. They've only made the Global Trophy twice in the past. I believe this is their 2nd time, or is this their 3rd time?
This will be their 3rd time on that, but something strange has certainly happened in trying to get these dud teams going, which has actually never happened.
No,
it's never happened before so far.
Yep.
But pretty much how it goes is that to decide our dud team for the final, it goes down to how many times or how well you've done in your previous Global Trophy appearances, how far you've gotten. Then it is how many times you've achieved that feat in your appearances in the Global Trophy Finals. And then after that, it is Global Trophy appearances altogether. And if there's still a tie, it goes down to the Global Trophy rankings, not the FIFA rankings this time, because obviously more experience in the final. If you've been there on multiple occasions, then yeah, a lot better for you when it comes to that. So yeah, Namibia are our dud team. They are actually tied on all accounts with Afghanistan as well. But we have another rule, which is if you finished in the semi-finals or higher in your local bracket
of their local bracket.
Yep, then you are exempt from being the dud team. And Afghanistan made it to the to the semi-finals of the Asian bracket.
Yeah, so them beating Australia, first of all, is an incredible shock. But then making it through to the semi-final stage of the Asian section meant that they were not the dud team. And would they have been the dud team had they got out in the round of 8, for example, Chris?
I believe so, yeah.
So there you go. So them finishing a round further ahead, winning one more match, has meant that they get to compete in the Global Trophy Finals. Unbelievable from Afghanistan.
Certainly do. Bit of a jammy work there from Afghanistan, but they did it. Next up, making it to their 4th Global Trophy Finals, it is El Salvador representing the Americas. Nice to see El Salvador back 2 in a row.
I was going to say consecutive appearances in the Global Trophy Finals after an amazing 3-0 away win over Venezuela. Lost out in the end in the round of 8 to Costa Rica, of course. Last year was in the semi-finals, this year a quarter-finalist. El Salvador on a pretty decent purple patch.
Well, in their last 3 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have been knocked out in round 1 all 3 of those times.
Maybe this year they can go one step further.
Certainly could. Next up, representing Asia, making it to their 5th Global Trophy final, it's Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam, of course, did okay in the Asian section, didn't they? Couldn't make it any further than the quarterfinals, I believe it was.
Yes, it was the quarterfinals, but then again, how crazy was that Asian section? Seriously.
I know, absolutely nuts. You know, on any other day, Vietnam probably could have won that competition, but they didn't. They went out in the quarterfinals, but they have qualified, and that's all that matters.
Yep, and in their last 4 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have made it, well, they haven't gotten past round 1 yet in all 4. Next up, first team representing Europe, making it to their 2nd Global Trophy Finals, the Preliminary League champions, the Republic of Ireland.
Yep, pre-qualification to Global Trophy Finals. We love to see it, and the Republic of Ireland, of course, won that Preliminary League, and they've made it all the way to this stage, the round of 32 of the Global Trophy.
In the last 2 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have actually made it out of the round of 32 before, making it to round 2 only. Next up, representing Africa, making it to their 4th Global Trophy Finals, it is, for the 2nd year in a row, it's Egypt.
Yeah, fair play to Egypt as well. Back-to-back qualifications for them, and, you know, they did pretty well in the African section, didn't they? Was it semi-finals for Egypt in the end?
It was quarterfinal.
Okay, quarterfinals. But still made it through. That's all we can ask for.
Certainly from Egypt, in the last 3 appearances, they have made it to round 2 only once in their history. Next up, former Dud team coming up now, representing Africa, making it also to their 4th Global Trophy Finals. It's former Dud team of the Global Trophy, Angola, next up. Very interesting here.
Of course, Angola a few years ago were a Dud team, so they've shared a similar fate to Namibia in the past, but this time around they don't have to worry about that. They've made it, I think previously, was it to the round of 16? Was it to the round of 8, actually? I can't remember.
It was the round of 16. But with Angola, they consecutively made it to finals. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Fair play to Angola. What a team. They've done well in recent years.
Yeah, they made it the champions back in 2022, of course. And yeah, their best performance is round 2, but I believe they fought the Dud to get there, I think.
Yeah, they did. They got to play the Dud. I think one time they might have played New Zealand as well.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But very good risers back in 2022's champions. It's going to be interesting to see how they do here. Also representing Africa, making it to their 7th Global Trophy Finals. Former pre-qualifiers, it's Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya, the absolute powerhouses of Africa. They did, you know, they've never won an African title, but they've always, you know, do pretty well, as indicated by this, you know, the 1 in 3 strike rate of getting through the African section, and, you know, they'll be hunting for more success here.
Certainly, in their last 6 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they've made it out of round 1 only on 1 occasion. Next up, representing Asia, making it to their 7th Global Trophy Finals, it is the new, shocking I know, new Asian champions. It's Kuwait.
Yes, of course, Kuwait went from Preliminary League. Well, they weren't even the champions of the Preliminary League. They were in the Preliminary League, and they then won the Asian section, remarkably beating another pre-qualifying team, India, in the final. What a run it was from Kuwait, and then India to get to that stage. But yeah, Kuwait, maybe, I wouldn't say they're dark horses. That's not getting ahead of ourselves here. But what a performance to elevate their ranking. They may even end up in the Champion of Champions because of this.
Well, they were in the Champion of Champions in 2022, of course. Didn't perform incredibly well there. But they did a decent account of themselves, I guess. In their last 6 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have made it to round 2 on 2 occasions. Next up, representing the Americas, making it to their 8th Global Trophy Finals, it's Costa Rica.
Yeah, what a run again from Costa Rica, this time in the Americas section. Semi-finalists this time, not finalists, but they made their way past the USA on penalties. They beat El Salvador, of course, in the round of 8, losing out to Peru this time around.
Yep, top 4 in America for 2 years in a row. In the last 7 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have made it to round 2 on 2 occasions so far. Next up, representing Africa, making it to their 12th Global Trophy Finals, it's Gabon.
Yeah, Gabon, again, one of those consistent teams in Africa, aren't they? They tend to kind of just crop up and appear in the round of 8 every now and then, but they couldn't make it any further.
Gabon are a pretty decent team in Africa. In their last 11 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have made it to round 2 on 2 occasions, which means that they have been knocked out 9 times in round 1. It's almost a record that Australia holds. Very close. Next up, here we go. The teams that have made it to a quarterfinal or higher. First off, representing Europe, making it to their 3rd Global Trophy Finals. Welcome back, England.
Yep. 2009 to 2024. Welcome back, England. You've waited so long we can finally say England are in the Global Trophy Finals. I wonder how they'll do, because there is there are a lot of teams here who haven't made it as far as them in the past. There is a real chance they could get drawn against a nice team, and they could do quite well. Europe is a tough bracket to get out of, as we know.
Definitely is.
Could they do a little bit of a madness here in the Global Trophy Finals? We just don't know.
Yeah, well, in England's last 2 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, in 2007, they made it to the quarterfinals. In 2009, they were knocked out by Italy in the first round on penalties, of course.
There's no surprise there, right? Italy are good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll be seeing them later. Next up, representing Asia, making it to their 6th Global Trophy Finals, it is former Asian champions Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia, of course, former Asian winners as well back in 2010. Former preliminary league participants as well, but they haven't been there for a while due to the fact that they've been consistently getting to this stage, the Global Trophy Finals.
Certainly have, especially over the last couple of years. Malaysia, their best performance has been a top 8, and that was very recently. I believe it was 2023 they did it. The same year with UAE. It was Germany's winning year, I think.
Yeah, it was. They were able to get to the I think they lost to Ukraine, didn't they? They were the team that lost to Ukraine in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think they were in that bottom bracket there, definitely. Next up, representing the Americas, making it to their 8th Global Trophy Finals, it's Peru.
Yes, of course, America's runners-up this time around, lost out to Brazil there, but they had a very strong run to the top 2. A good run for them in the America section, has to be said. They'll be banking all those points, hoping they'll be enough to get them to the Champion of Champions at the end of next year.
Certainly could on that one, and in Peru's last 7 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they've made 1 quarterfinal to their name. Maybe they could equal that this year. Next up, representing Asia, making it to their 8th Global Trophy Finals, the runners-up of Asia this year, it's the one, the only, India.
Yeah, of course, they were also preliminary qualifiers this year, weren't they? They also didn't win the preliminary league, which is, it's crazy. Those two just went on a mad run, didn't they? And India would have been hoping to add a very big scalp to their fireplace, I suppose. But nope, Kuwait beat them, but they are here to participate.
Certainly are, and again, just like Peru, 7 previous appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, 1 quarterfinal to their name. Next up, representing the Americas, making it to their 9th Global Trophy Finals, it is Ecuador. It's a very interesting dark horse here.
Yep, and as I said before, considering it was only 4 teams from the Americas used to get to that stage for many, many years, it's a remarkable thing that they've actually done it as well as they have done it. 50% success rate, so fair play Ecuador.
Yep, and in their last 9 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, yep, only 1 quarterfinal spot to their name, but it's the big 1-0 here for Ecuador. Next up, representing Africa, making it to their 13th Global Trophy Finals, it's the former African champions, the Ivory Coast.
Yeah, 2024's champions. I think they were semi-finalists, losing semi-finalists this time around to Senegal.
Yep, they were.
Were Ivory Coast, but they're on a good run of form, the Ivory Coast, and keep an eye out for Côte d'Ivoire when it comes to this.
Certainly do on that one. In the last 12 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, again, only 1 quarterfinal to their name. Next up, representing Europe, making it to their 7th Global Trophy Finals, it's Russia.
Yeah, Russia, of course, did a pretty decent job of getting through the European section this time around. How they cope, I suppose you could say, when it comes to the finals.
Certainly going to be interesting for Russia there. In their last 6 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have made the quarterfinals twice. So, yeah, 1 in 3 they've made it there. Very interesting to see how they're going to do. Next up, making it to their 11th Global Trophy Finals, representing Asia, it is China.
China, of course, former African champions to 3 occasions in the past, most recently in 2019.
Yeah, big team in Asia here. In their last 10 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, similar to Russia, 2 quarterfinals to their name. Next up, an Asian team that's done 1 further, making it to their 12th Global Trophy Finals. It is the 3-time Asian champions, Iran.
Yeah, Iran, of course, also very successful when it comes to Asian championships. They've won 3 in the past. Most recently in 2020.
Speaking of 3, in their last 11 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals, they have made it to 3 quarterfinals, but not 1 further. Is this their year?
Very impressive.
Very impressive. Is this their year, possibly? Next up, representing Europe, making it to their 7th Global Trophy Finals, It is, well, semi-finalist last year, Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia, of course, the favourites of Global Trophy Champion of Champions gone by. And, of course, last time around, I believe they were losing semi-finalists to Italy, weren't they? That was their most recent performance.
Yeah, and I believe they might have been a quarter-finalist the year before, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, Croatia, certainly a team on form for them. Yeah, the best performance, a semi-final, back last year. Next up, representing Africa, making it to their 12th Global Trophy Finals, it is the new, 5-time now, African champions, Senegal.
The African champions on 5 occasions have also been pretty successful when it comes to the Global Trophy in the past. Can they do one better than last time? Or can they go 2 better and bring home the trophy for Africa for the first time?
Certainly could. It'd be great to see an African team finally win the Global Trophy. In the last 11 appearances in the Global Trophy Finals for Senegal, they made it to the semi-finals on only 1 occasion. Next up, making it to their 15th Global Trophy Finals, it is representing America, the ever-consistent Colombia.
Still no trophies for Colombia, but they may be able to change that. They knocked Argentina out, of course, in local qualification this time. Could it be their year?
Certainly could be. I mean, I'd say that was their chance, was Colombia, a couple of years ago. That was their chance to get some silverware, but for them, they have made it to consecutive quarterfinals 6 times, I believe, altogether. But yeah, they did make it to 1 semi-final previously, and that's their best run. Now we're going to get to the teams who have made it to the final 2. The runners-up are coming up, and it's a return to form for this Asian team, making it to their 9th Global Trophy Finals. Former runners-up, South Korea.
Yep. Semi-finalists back in 2016. Runners-up in 2016. Semi-finalists back in 2015. What a team Korea Republic are, the South Korea.
Yep, South Korea, yeah, that's their best run. After a couple of years, many years actually, to be honest, out of being in any sort of contention, they are back in the Global Trophy Finals for the first time in many years for South Korea. Is this going to be a return to form for them?
Could be.
Certainly could be on that one. Next up, representing the Americas, making it to their 11th Global Trophy Finals, it's former runners-up Mexico.
Yeah, they were runners-up in 2017, the year after South Korea had their fairy tale run. Mexico had theirs, losing out in the final to eventual winners France.
Yeah, and of course the first one on YouTube that was as well was the Mexican one back in 2017. Mexico finishing 2nd. They're hoping maybe to go one further, but again, just like South Korea, they've had a bit of a bad run of form over the last couple of years of Mexico. Next up, representing Africa, making it to their record 17th Global Trophy Finals. Only Australia have surpassed them. It's Nigeria.
Yeah, of course, they were runners-up in Africa this time round, losing out in the final to Senegal after a semi-final victory, which they won 11-1. Nigeria, always a threat. Former runners-up in this competition, and also our first ever Champion of Champions runners-up as well.
Next up, representing Europe.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Making it to their 16th Global Trophy Finals. 6-time.
Record holding.
Yeah, 6-time record-holding European champions and 4-time runners-up Italy.
4-time runners-up Italy in the Global Trophy. As last year was one. 2018, of course, they lost to Portugal. 2 previously before going on to YouTube as well. They are the best team to have never won the Global Trophy. It is an absolute fact that is the case.
Definitely.
Is this their year? They're on a good run.
Well, they certainly are. They've got a lot to contend with, though, including, obviously, being European champions as well when it comes to that. But next up, it is another champion. But now we're getting to our top 5 champions. And first off, representing the Americas, making it to their 13th Global Trophy Finals, it's Brazil.
Yes, Brazil, champions of the Global Trophy back in 2010 and 2014. Now 11 years since Brazil last won the title. Can they secure a 3rd title today?
Well, it certainly could happen when it comes to Brazil, but of course they're the reigning America's champions twice, 2 times in a row. They've blocked Argentina.
In quite a long time, I think, as well for Brazil. They are, of course, also former Champion of Champions as well.
They certainly are when it comes to that. The first Champion of Champions, in fact, back in 2018. Next up, representing Europe, making it to their 13th Global Trophy Finals, also 2-time Global Trophy champions, Germany.
For a long time, Germany were considered the worst champion. I don't think they can be considered that now because they're on 2 titles themselves. They've won 2013 and 2023. And, in recent years, they've actually had a pretty decent run of form. Germany also won their first European title back in 2022.
Certainly, and obviously they also have the record for the biggest win in a Global Trophy final match. 6-0, I believe, against Ukraine.
6-0. And they also hold the record for the biggest gap between titles at 10 years. That can be beaten tonight. It can be equaled tonight by Brazil and Argentina, respectively.
Certainly can on that one. Well, let's get into one of the other ones, making it to another big O for them, their 10th Global Trophy finals. It is the second ever Global Trophy champion, in fact, but 3-time champions altogether. Can they actually do it this time? It's Spain. It's going to be very interesting for Spain.
Amazing to think that they only made the Global Trophy finals on 10 occasions and they've won 3 of them. What a run that is from Spain. They won in 2006, 2011, 2016 as well. They didn't win the 2021 title where we thought it was going to be history repeating itself, but, they are a very, very dangerous team. They should not be discounted at any point.
Well, if they don't win this year, then we still have the 2026 tournament coming up.
They are also runners-up as well in the Global Trophy Champion of Champions 2022.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, when it comes to that. Very interesting team, Spain. Next up, it's the champs. It's their 12th Global Trophy finals representing Europe. It's the Netherlands.
Yep, 3 times in the last 5 years, the Netherlands have won the Global Trophy. 2020, 2021, 2024. Certainly been the form team of this decade as its things stand. If they can add a 4th, wow, what a run that would be.
Well, France dominated the 2000s, Argentina dominated the 2010s. It certainly seems like it's going to be Dutch domination in the 2020s. But yeah, 5 years it took for them to win 3 titles, same as France. But then it took France another 8 to get their next one. So altogether that'd be 13 for France to get 4.
8 years?
Yeah, 8 years. So they could Netherlands do it?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it, if they could do it?
That would be what? 4 titles in 6 years.
Yeah, do it in half the time would be a spectacular achievement from the Netherlands.
Certainly would for the Netherlands. And right now they are obviously probably the team to probably be at rank 1 in the Champion of Champions. But we have our rank 1 in the Global Trophy. We have our rank 1 in the FIFA rankings. We have 3-time Global Trophy champions. The only team with more wins than, with more than 100 wins. And also, if they've made it to the Global Trophy finals, never failed to reach the top 8. It's the favourites. It's Argentina back. Yeah,
the red-hot favourites, as always. They didn't do that well in the Americas section, though. They were knocked out by Colombia. So we'll have to see how we get on. Don't forget to save state, Chris.
Yep, already done it.
Also, don't start yet. I'm just going to go make a bottle for the baby. I'll be right back.
Oh, not a problem. We'll...
Right, give me like 5-10 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay, yep, we'll be back in a minute.
Here's some elevator music.
Here's a screen transition. Shwip! Alright guys, we are back, and well, we got a potential record coming up now, because in the qualifiers, we haven't had to restart.
No.
Can we hit the 50-50 5 in a row for the entire tournament?
Yep. 5 from 5, can we do it? Come on. Go on. Come on.
Don't. Let's restart it. Yes! Yay, a record!
Okay,
yes!
So
finally! A new record of the Global Trophy's already happened!
Okay, let's just assess what we've got here then. So, we've got 2 champions in this half of the bracket, 3 in the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Where's Argentina? Where's Netherlands? Where's Spain? Oh, where's England? Where's Italy? Oh, no.
To be fair, okay, it's not that bad, but as you said, there's 3 champions in the bottom half of the bracket, but there's also Italy as well, so you can basically count them as a 4th.
And
right?
Nigeria.
And also Nigeria, yeah. Okay.
England. Sorry, fellas.
I think so. I think if... Early prediction, I said Brazil was going to win the whole thing. I think Brazil could definitely make it to the final with this bracket here, but it won't be easy.
Certainly won't. I mean, you do have Mexico in there, and obviously they've got to get past Germany.
Of course, but let's crack on. First of all, Mexico will kick us off against Gabon of Africa.
Certainly do. Mexico, former runners-up, of course. Gabon, yeah, decent enough side, but never really do incredibly well here. in this to kick off our first match of the final, and Mexico with a big 5-0 win over Gabon. Big win.
Good result for Mexico there. They are back in the Global Trophy Finals for the first time and back with a bang. They will be hoping to play, well, they don't really mind who they play in the next time, but they'll be hoping for revenge on Brazil, I'm sure, later on.
Certainly could if they can get to the quarterfinals. But next up it is Kenya versus Afghanistan, the Australia killers for this year, of course, are Afghanistan.
So Kenya can equal their best ever record. Afghanistan can beat their best ever record.
Certainly can on that one. It's Kenya, Afghanistan gone, and Kenya through to round 2. Big result for Kenya.
Shame for Afghanistan there. Now, this is the big clash from this half of the bracket. Brazil, 2-time champions. Germany, 2-time champions. One of these two is going home in the round of 32. It's unfortunate the way that the draw goes sometimes, but
we are about to lose one of our 5 champions, and the winner
either
is going to take Senegal.
No, it's not. The America's champions taking on Germany here.
And Brazil are through! Germany are out at this stage at the round of 32. Germany, the first champion to go. And that means that Brazil will take on Senegal in a rematch.
Wow. I'll tell you what, the drama has already started here. So we have lost one of our 5 champions already. They're gone. Germany have gone home. Doofus in the final, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Doofus. Senegal through to the round of 16 with the bye win over Namibia. I think that's pretty cool because, you know, they are an African champion taking on an African team, I guess. So, yeah, pretty cool with that.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's pretty nice to see a champion get the dud.
I tell you what, Brazil will be absolutely hoping they can get through. But again, it's not going to be easy because Senegal are really good.
Yeah, certainly.
Really good.
Certainly. I mean, they did beat Brazil in their last match against them. And that was also at the round of 16 as well. So there's a lot of bad blood between Brazil and Senegal.
Of course. But we have an all-African clash.
First European team gone.
It is. The first European team has gone home. We have an all-Africa clash next up again between Angola and the Ivory Coast.
The Ivory Coast, former quarter-finalists here. Angola, first they've got is a round 2. Hoping to do that again maybe this year. No, Ivory Coast will go through to the second round. That sets up Colombia versus India next.
Of course, India were pre-qualifiers this year. Colombia, as we know, as we said so many times, the consistency machine. Can they go through to the round of 16 once again, Colombia?
India's best has been one quarter-final back a long time ago. Colombia has gotten to a semi-final, but multiple-time quarter-finalists. No! India knock out Colombia in a shocker! India have knocked Colombia out at the round of 32.
The Asian runners-up through to the round of 16. India, what a perform as they'll take on Ivory Coast in the next round.
Next up, it is Russia versus South Korea. South Korea's return to the Global Trophy Finals. Of course, former runners-up. Russia, former quarter-finalists on 2 occasions here. Interesting match.
South Korea, of course, runners-up back in 2016. Can they usurp Russia here, who have made it back to the Global Trophy for the first time in a number of years?
Russia have made it to the quarterfinals on 2 occasions. South Korea, of course, former runners-up. No, South Korea will go through to the second round. Russia's gone. Another European team gone.
It could be 5 remaining after this, as Malaysia, of course, a powerhouse team from Asia, taking on Croatia, of course, former European champions, I think, of the past.
Yep, yes they are.
Yeah, they won in 2014, so 11 years ago. They're, of course, in the champion of champions in the past as well. They take on Malaysia, a good team.
Yeah, very good team. Top 8 recently. Croatia, though, semi-finalists last time round. Croatia will go through. A European team do go through. And that sets up next Iran versus Nigeria. Tough match here.
Yeah, tough match for both these two teams. Nigeria probably the favourites, but Iran won't just roll over for them.
Certainly will not. Iran, 3-time quarter-finalists. Nigeria, former runners-up. And Nigeria do go through. Iran are gone. And that sets up our next match. Republic of Ireland versus Costa Rica.
For a place in the round of 16 to take on Nigeria.
An interesting match between 2 teams who you wouldn't expect really to get hit too often. Of course, Republic of Ireland, the less likely, but they have gone through this time! And that's 2 in 3 for Republic of Ireland getting to the second round. Peru and China is next up.
Fair play to Republic of Ireland, their good result. Peru, the runners-up of the Americas, take on China in a South America versus Asian clash.
Both teams have made it to a quarterfinal. China has made it to 2 quarterfinals to Peru's 1 in previous competitions. And China will knock out Peru, another Asian team through on penalties.
Yeah, we going through again. Go China, Vietnam, and Egypt, and Asian versus
They
African
got through,
clash.
I guess.
I will have to say, by the way,
Probably take Netherlands.
we still haven't seen Italy, the Netherlands, Argentina, or England yet. I believe those are our last
Or
40.
Spain.
Or Spain. Wow,
no.
we're getting close to the end here. I'm a bit scared. Poor England. What have they done to deserve
Well, they
this?
made it through. They'll probably get Netherlands or something.
Oh, this is... Yeah, or Argentina. Yeah, Argentina going to beat them 12-0 or something.
Well, we have Vietnam versus Egypt next up, and Egypt will go through 4-0. Dominant performance by Egypt there.
Yeah, so Egypt will play the winner of our next game. Ecuador, the South American team, taking on Spain, our 3-time champions.
Yep, Ecuador, former quarterfinalists. Spain, of course, 3-time champions previously. Could another European team fall? No, not this time.
Oh, no.
Oh. Well, Spain will go through. Netherlands versus England is next up. I think we know how this is going to go.
And our last match, by the way... no, so hang on. So Iran versus Nigeria. So Nigeria play Republic of Ireland. China play Egypt, sorry. Spain go through. We'll play the winner of our next match, which is the Netherlands, our runners-up of Europe and our current champions, or England, of course.
Well, let's see how this is going to go, shall we?
Imagine they won.
Imagine if they just make it through. Nope.
No.
They're out. 3-1. Netherlands will go through. And they will take on the winner of our next match. I mean, if Italy goes through, it's really not going to be an easy run for our champions. It's going to be a very difficult run for Netherlands.
It is, and they'll play the winner of the next match, which is our Asian champions or our European champions.
I think on a note, I think that means that Argentina will take on El Salvador.
I think so, yeah. I think they're the last team.
Yeah, I think El Salvador are the last team. We haven't seen them yet, but we've got Kuwait versus Italy next, and Italy will win 5-1. And yes, it is El Salvador, Argentina in our next match. It's not easy for Italy either.
It's a tough one. I tell you what, those bottom 4 teams could be really, really spicy if Argentina get through here, because one of those is going to have to navigate a really tough bracket to the final.
Spain, Netherlands, Italy, Argentina, possibly. I mean, El Salvador's the only one that can stop them, and they're not going to. Argentina into round 2 again. One step closer to their 16th quarterfinal.
In the quarters. Absolutely, Argentina running riot at the moment, but we've got a long way to go before that. Mexico take on Kenya for our first match of the round of 16. Mexico probably the favourites.
So in the round of 32, we lost one of our champions. We still have 4 remaining so far.
Yep.
We got Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina, and Spain.
Spain. And basically Italy, right? Let's say Italy for the sake of argument as well, because they've been runners up 4 times.
Well, if they're going to try and win it, they've got a long way to go.
So
No pressure for Italy.
they could do, but it's not an easy path even still. Mexico and Kenya first. Mexico have got absolutely every capability of winning this.
Certainly do. Former runners-up Kenya. This is their best run so far, but it ends there. Mexico, 4-0. Another big win for them. They go through to the quarterfinals.
But who will join them? Will it be the 2-time champions Brazil or Senegal, the bogey team? It's the America's champions against the African champions.
Brazil lost at this point last time, but not this
Wow.
time. Brazil will go through to take on Mexico.
Again, they were in the quarterfinals in the Americas section as well, but this time it's an away leg this time for Brazil.
Certainly is. Could that be a stopper for Brazil? Ivory Coast versus India next.
Yeah, for a place in the top 8. Ivory Coast have been there before, so have India.
Yep, India's was a long time ago, and it ends for them there. Ivory Coast into the quarterfinals, the top 8 for them.
Another African team go through, so one African team have made it to the semi-finals. Can an Asian team do the same? We've got 2 Asian teams left. South Korea is one of them, China is the other. South Korea take on Croatia next.
Croatia, you'd say, the team on form over South Korea's amazing run to get to there, but it's gone now, and Croatia through.
Good result for Croatia there. Korea, another spirited run, but not really evoking the days of old where they were so potent, but it was nice to see them back.
Certainly was, but Croatia through to their 3rd quarterfinal in a row. Our next match in the second half of the bracket, Nigeria will take on the Republic of Ireland. Republic of Ireland, the only British and Irish team left in the round of 16 here.
I mean, let's put it like this. If Republic of Ireland go through, they've got a chance at a semi-final because China and Egypt is an easier opponent than who they've got currently, but Nigeria are definitely the favourites here.
Certainly. Former runners-up Nigeria looking to have another African team through, and they do on penalties.
Ooh.
It's close for Republic of Ireland, but they go home. Nigeria into another quarter-final.
They are indeed. They've progressed further than their African rivals, Senegal, so they are the highest-ranked African team left in once again. China from Asia, Egypt from Africa. If China lose this, Asia are out already. Of course, Egypt won't be an easy game, but it could be a potential opponent that they could beat, though. There's probably the easiest team left in.
Yep, Egypt. This is their best run so far, joint with their previous run. China has made it one further than this so far in their history. China looking to do it again, and they do! Asia survives in the quarterfinal. China through.
So we do have an Asian team through to the quarterfinals. We love to see it now. This is two heavyweight clashes. 3-time champions Spain take on 3-time champions the Netherlands for a place against 4-time runners-up Italy and 3-time champions Argentina.
I mean,
it's a who's who, really. This is global trophy heritage, this is, isn't it?
I mean, these are, like, with Brazil, 4 of the best teams left in. And Netherlands
yes, they can.
will knock out Spain!
Once again, it is the Netherlands that progress. Now, this is a historic moment here because Italy, of course, the European champions, take on Argentina. If Italy win this, it'll be the first time in history Argentina have made the Global Trophy finals and failed to progress past the round of 16. Of course, if Argentina win, it gives them a real shot at winning this thing.
15 quarterfinals in a row for Argentina. And they made it 16! Of course they have! When they turn up, they turn up! Italy's out!
In some style as well, beating Italy 3-0.
Italy are gone!
Well. So you've got the powerhouses at the bottom and you've got the surprise packages at the top, haven't you, really? That's how it's going to pay out.
Yeah, you do. I mean, Brazil are the only chance of having 2 repeat winners in the final. There's still some tough teams.
I have to say, you know, Brazil were my pick before the whole competition started. I'm feeling very good about my chances, but Mexico are not an easy team to beat.
Certainly not. Mexico versus Brazil, quarterfinals, and Mexico
it!
will knock out Brazil! Mexico through!
So we're going to have a team in the final that's never won it before. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Ivory Coast, Croatia, Mexico never won the global trophy. Ivory Coast or Croatia? Who is going to make it to the semi-finals to join Mexico? Croatia have made it there already. They've made it there before. They made it there last year. Ivory Coast haven't. And Croatia have done the double. They've done it again.
Back-to-back semi-finalists for Croatia, and that'll give them, I mean, more than enough to qualify for the Champion of Champions in 2026.
Certainly.
Mexico is their opponent. That's a brilliant match for a semi-final.
Mexico-Croatia in the semi-finals. We've got Nigeria versus probably the easiest team left, China. Next up, Nigeria looking to make it to another semi-final. China looking to make it further here. Potentially, this is their 3rd time in the quarterfinals, of course. Nigeria looking for another semi-finals. They're the only African team left in. China, the only Asian team left in.
We do indeed. I think Nigeria are probably the favourites, but China have proven a shock in the past.
We're going to lose a continent regardless. Will it be Africa or will it be Asia? It will be Asia. Nigeria through to the semi-finals.
So, we have one American team, a Central American team. We have a European team and an African team. Will South America fall by the wayside and knock out, or will the champions go home at this stage? Netherlands and Argentina next up. 2 3-time champions. Netherlands have already beaten 1. Can Argentina do it as well?
Big fight. Feel they've done it! Argentina knock out the Netherlands. The champions are gone. Wow.
If Croatia win this, the game's rigged. The game is rigged to let European teams win. I'm convinced of it. But they've got to take on Mexico from Central America, the only, North America technically. Who's going to go through here to the final? I have no idea. I'm completely speechless.
The last European team left is Croatia. Mexico, former finalists, of course, looking to get there again, and they do! They've made it through their first final since 2017!
The first time in 8 years they're making it to the final, so will they be able to get their name on the trophy? Nigeria, if they win this, will have a new champion guaranteed. Argentina, of course, didn't qualify last year. If they win this, Well, first of all, we're guaranteed a non-European champion for the first time on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's say that much.
Yeah, so the comments can shut up and stop being annoyed that European teams keep winning it. That's for damn so sure. Well, I guess Argentina could win this, and they'll still be annoyed, I guess. Anyway, Nigeria, Argentina. No! No way! Argentina's gone! Nigeria's in the final again! It's Mexico, Nigeria!
So
What's going on?
It's either going to be our first African champion or our first North American champion. A new champion is going to be crowned today. Mexico or Nigeria. Who's it going to be?
Both of these two teams have made it to finals before. They've made it right to the end and lost. Now one of them is finally going to break that deadlock. And who is it going to be? Mexico or Nigeria? It's Mexico! Oh, Nigeria, not again! Africa they've got to wait another year of Africa. Mexico, from out of nowhere, win the global trophy!
I'm staggered. Mexico are back with a... I'll tell you what, their first two games in this as well, they won 5-0 and 4-0. And then they beat Brazil on penalties. They beat Croatia in the semi-finals, and on penalties in the final. They beat Nigeria, who beat Argentina to get... Unbelievable. What a tournament.
What a tournament. Mexico from out of nowhere. How? How have they gone to it? This is giving me, like, severe Czech Republic vibes. Mexico win.
I don't know, Mexico winning... I mean, they've made the final before, but they've done nothing since. And Mexico from nothing are the 2025 Global Trophy champions are Mexico.
What in the world happened there? I mean, this is a team that hasn't made it to the Global Trophy finals in years. Good team in our top 20, but they haven't been on a great vein of form, and now they do this. What the hell just happened?
I'm heartbroken a little bit for Nigeria, I have to say.
Yeah.
I was so hoping we'd see an African champion for the first time, and of course it had to be Nigeria, competing for it. But wowee, Mexico! They've
what
a story!
Yeah, you could say that.
They weren't even on our radar to win this. Like, not at all.
No, I mean, what, we were picking to, like, the former champions, or maybe, like, in Italy, or maybe in Nigeria. Mexico was, yeah, they were nowhere. They were nowhere near it. Because there's, like, a bad run of form they've had recently and everything. And they've just gone on and just gone, no, we're going to have our time to win this now. Just from out of nowhere. And they've just gone on to win their first global trophy.
The first non-European team on YouTube to win the global trophy is Mexico, of all teams.
I mean, they had an interesting run. They beat two teams like 4-0, 5-0
Wow.
previously, and then they beat Brazil, Croatia, Nigeria.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Mexico from nowhere, from absolutely nowhere, have secured the bag.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. For the first time in 10 years, European teams are not taking the global trophy home. Mexico will be the hosts next year of the global trophy in 2026. The final one before our next champion of champions, of course.
Yeah, well, I think that certainly solidified Mexico's chances in the champion of champions. I'm pretty certain that they're in 100%, probably even in the top 10 after a performance like that. What
was their last couple of years' results been? Because they've not been good.
I believe they haven't been in the Global Trophy Finals in a few years, especially in this cycle.
Like, in this cycle, I think,
Yeah.
certainly, since the last champion of champions, they haven't...
They haven't made it. They haven't made it in a long old time.
Wow.
And they just turn up and just go, hey, we'll win.
Unbelievable.
What in the...
Unbelievable.
Yeah. What in the world happens? Mexico are the champions of the Global Trophy now.
History is made. History has absolutely been made today.
Certainly has been. For the first time since 2015, a non-European team wins the Global Trophy.
And not...
Wow.
And not Brazil.
Yeah, not Brazil.
Yeah, this is absolute, global trophy heritage. An absolutely, wild competition where it just looked inevitable that Argentina were just going to win it.
Yeah.
Netherlands beat, obviously beat England, of course.
Yeah,
but
of
you know,
course they did.
Netherlands beat Spain, Argentina beat Italy, Argentina then beat Netherlands. You're like, okay, so it's just going to be Argentina then. But no, they were knocked out by Nigeria, who in turn were beaten by Mexico. And Mexico play the screen again. Come on, let's get the splash screen up. Come on,
yeah.
I want to see it. There you have it. Our new Global Trophy champions for next year, the hosts of the 2026 competition, are Mexico.
Okay, interesting question here. With Mexico's win, does that rival, potentially, the shock of Czech Republic's win a couple of years back?
I think it's less surprising. You know, they have been runners-up before, but it's less surprising than that. But
well, yeah, but it's like they've been nowhere.
Considering
they've been absolutely nowhere since their
like Mexico's last trophy was in 2013. They won the America section then, but wowee, what a run!
What a run indeed. Mexico beating Brazil in the quarterfinals. Croatia making it to their third quarterfinal in a row, losing out in their second consecutive semi-final, and then beating Nigeria, who upset Argentina in the semi-finals to give us our first in over 10 years, our first non-European champion. Hey, we were expecting for it to be maybe an African team, maybe Argentina, maybe Brazil, but no, Mexico just come in and just swiped it. The heist of the global trophy here.
I know, it's crazy. It's just such a wild concept. They've finally done it. You know, we've waited so long for a team not from Europe to win it, but I don't think anyone expected this. I thought in that final it was Nigeria's. I thought it was finally time. But
yeah,
but no.
I mean, absolute commiserations and absolute heartbreak to Nigeria. But yeah, they beat Argentina, they beat China, I believe, in the quarterfinals, but they just could not get past Mexico. And Mexico, from out of nowhere, win the global trophy.
Absolutely, you know, because they have been in fairly poor form in recent years.
Yeah, so okay, maybe sort of like Germany a couple of years back.
Yeah, well, Germany had kind of turned things around, but maybe this is the start of Mexico's resurgence through the field. I wonder.
Well, I think a very interesting thing for later this year when we do the 2026 tournament is how are Mexico going to fare, pretty much as defending champions. It's going to be interesting, I think.
So they have become, I believe now, our 9th different winner.
Yeah, 9th.
So they join France, they join Spain, they join Argentina, Brazil, Germany, Portugal, of course, the Netherlands, Czech Republic, and now Mexico.
I'm still in shock about that. What a tournament! Again, what a tournament!
Yeah, what a competition. You know, I think one of the best we've done. 100%.
You say that every year.
But just so many shocks. Just so many shocks. Like every you know, I mean, Italy and Netherlands in the final of Europe is a shock. You know, Brazil back-to-backing America's shock. Kuwait winning, of course, a shock. You know, Senegal beating Nigeria in the final of Africa, shock.
Oh, Nigeria being runner-up in both as well.
Oh man, that's so unlucky. Oh man, didn't even think of that.
Really is. Commiserations again to Nigeria. Mexico win the 2025 Global Trophy. Jeez, again, what a tournament. It's a pleasure to do this as always every year. Really is.
Absolutely, always do. It's one of the highlights of the year, definitely.
And so ends the 21st Global Trophy, the 2025 Global Trophy. Oh, tears from Nigeria for the second time, failing to win the title, but the trophy is not going to Europe for the first time in a decade. It is going to Mexico City. Mexico win. I've been Masterath.
I've been Samuel64.
And we'll see you in about 10 months' time, in November, I believe.
Yeah. I'll be 30 by then. Wow, I'll be 30 by then.
I don't know how old I'm going to be. I don't want to know. But we'll see you in November this year for the 2026 Global Trophy. Can Mexico keep their title? We'll find out soon. We'll see you then.
World cheers rise, fields embrace the sky, nations speak the pride on this global fight. Eyes on the prize, champion shadows dance, dreams within our grasp, a chance for one last glance. Lift the global trophy high.